Hey, welcome to the CGS BIblecast. So glad that you joined us this morning here. We're going to be in Numbers chapter 32, verse, we'll skip around. Verse 5, verse 15, we'll skip around. So here we are. You got these two guys. They had a lot of cattle, vast numbers of livestock, this says. And they had the idea that we don't really need to go across the river right now. There's some land that's perfectly suitable for us. Just let us go there and we'll be good. It says in verse 5, if we have found favor with you, please let us have this land as our property instead of giving us land across the Jordan River. And Moses is like, are you serious? He says, verse 6, do you intend to stay here while your brothers go across and do all the fighting? He's like, how dare you? You're going to go take care of your livestock while we go step into God's promise and fight for this promise and sacrifice and do all this, and you're just going to be happy with less and get fat and live over here and be happy just doing your thing and not having to do anything difficult? I don't think so. And it says here in verse 15, skip back down, if you turn away from him like this and abandon them again in the wilderness, you will be responsible for destroying this entire nation. Whoa. We're going to get into that, what that actually means here in a second. But we have to understand that our choices impact others. We influence those around us, even if we don't realize that they're watching us, especially children. We really influence them, and then we think that they're ignoring us. But they notice everything that we do. They watch us as if they're recording our words and our actions. And when the tables turn, we hear our words and see our actions played out in their lives. It's like, oh, that's kind of tough when you see your kids do something that you don't like, and they're like, well, I learned it from you. Ooh, not good. So God was angry that the Israelites, because of their disobedience, and he let them wander in the wilderness for 40 years until this sinful generation passed away. So hopefully at the end of 40 years, those that were responsible for the sin and for the misguided nation and the lack of trust, those people pass away. But unfortunately, they passed down their sin to the next generation. Their children committed the same sin, causing God's anger to burn even more. Both generations needed to break the cycle to turn back to God. Otherwise, they would cause further destruction to their people. We too must be mindful of our daily choices. Any wrong decision we make may cause someone else to stumble. If we turn away from God and others follow us, we may become catalysts for death and destruction. That sounds really, really serious and really extreme. But when we're talking about eternity here, we have to realize that our actions may send somebody into eternal death and destruction. But if we follow Jesus and obey his word, we become vessels of his love and his grace. We are a living testimony for Christ. And we can either be part of the problem or a part of the solution, which is living to glorify God. By choosing his will and his way, we become ambassadors for his kingdom and lead others to everlasting life. That's exactly what God has called us to do. We could be like these people that were camped outside on the other side of the Jordan River waiting instructions and think, I can just move on with life and be happy with this. Is it going to be as great as crossing over and doing it God's way? No, but I can get it done now, and it's going to be good enough for me. Well, by doing that, we're showing disobedience. We're showing that we don't trust God. And I'm telling you, there is nothing more important than our trust for the Lord. If we teach that to our kids, they're going to be so much better off. I am always struggling to trust the Lord, and that's something that I'm really, really, really trying to push into and just trust him, even when things are just falling apart and I'm tempted to go, you know what? We can do this. I can put cattle over here. We got everything we need over here. We can do it this way. And it's going to be just going to be good. But I found that if I just sit back and trust the Lord and listen to his instructions and be obedient to the things that he's telling me to do, I'm so much better off. And if we can model that for our children, the next generation is going to be just fine. So take that for what you need. Trust the Lord and obey his commands, and you're going to be just fine. Have a great day.